Everybody, it's me from Linh here, and today I'm going to talk about how we could give feedbacks that would actually be worth it. 1. Why do you think many managers give feedback that fails to create real change? Well, actually, right now, most managers would give feedback by using the technique of feedback sandwich, and that is when you give a comment and then a correction and then another comment. And mostly that would not be effective because the other person could not really understand what you were going to say, or maybe if they understood, they would feel like you are not being real to them and you're just lying to them. In the talk, Rini mentions that correction without connection feels like a rejection. What does this idea mean to you personally? Well, I think that when you try to correct someone but you don't connect with them, it feels like you're just trying to make them change the way that you want them to. And well, most people don't like to change because of somebody who they don't feel connected to. So when you correct somebody which you are not connected with, the other person would feel a little bit angry, I think so. And then that comment, that correction would not actually be worth it. Can you remember a time when a feedback made you feel supported rather than criticized? What made the difference? Well, I actually don't get critical feedbacks, so I just think that every kind of feedbacks that I get are very supportive because people just give me really good feedbacks and they don't actually make me feel offended. So I think that most of them are pretty good, but I think that the way that you can make other people feel good too is just by trying to make them feel connected, and then it's just some kind of conversation between the two people. It's not actually giving a feedback. How does psychological safety influence the way people respond to feedback in a workplace or classroom? Well, I think that when you are psychologically connected with each other, it will feel more connected, and then it will be much better than just giving out comments while the other person doesn't feel connected. Because when you have a good relationship with somebody else, it would be much better. It would feel very more natural when talking with them, and it would also feel more natural when you get a feedback, so it would not affect your mood or energy, and you would understand what you could change without getting angry. Why is it important to separate a person's behavior from their identity when giving feedback? Well, even when you give a bad behavior or result, you aren't really a bad person. It's just that how you do that thing, or it's just a kind of method of doing something. It's not suitable in that situation. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. So when somebody just for example, somebody just sees that you did something really bad, how can I explain this? It just feels when you had I don't really actually know how to explain this. It's just when you try to judge somebody by their behavior, it won't always be right. Well, actually sometimes it would be right, but not always. According to the talk, effective feedback requires both clarity and kindness. Which of these do you think is harder to practice constantly? Well, of course it would be clarity, because most managers will just not say directly to their employee because they're worried that they would hurt the other person's feeling, or maybe they would be weird or things like that, and then they would just not be really clear to their employee, and sometimes that would cause confusion, and then the employee would not understand what they wanted to change. Most managers would choose to give a hint. For example, deadlines are really important, Well, what they actually want to say is that next time remember to mm, give this appointment like at your deadline without like actually like you have to give that appointment in on time, but then most managers would just choose to hint so that it's not actually suitable, and the employee would not just understand what they wanted to say or to change. So I think that the most important thing in giving a feedback is clarity, but kindness is also very important because it would not like affect the other person's feelings, and then the relationship would still be good, it would not be ruined, and I think they would be much better. How can open-ended question help leaders better understand the root causes behind someone's performance or behavior? When you give open-ended questions, the other person could actually answer like with like their true thoughts, and they would not have to just like answer something that would be like social, because they would give their like real feelings and thoughts, and then you could understand more about their feelings, why they did that thing, and then it will be much better. The speaker argues that feedback should be ongoing instead of happening only during formal reviews. How could regular feedback change team culture over time? Feedbacks are to help somebody improve. So when you get feedbacks often, then it would help you like it would help make your performance better, and then overall make the whole team's performance better. So by like keeping feedbacks ongoing, then it can actually help like the whole team like go upward, and then it would be much better than just like getting it like once a month or once like a decade. After listening to this talk, what kind of leader, teammate, or communicator would you like to become in the future? Well, I don't think that I should be a leader because, well, I'm not so good at leading people, but by becoming a communicator, I could help everybody just like connect with each other, and then I would get less shy or worried when I'm giving like a feedback. So I think that I would become a really good communicator if I could just use the tips in this video. Well, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!